All right, Dolphins fans, this is an impromptu video here. I'm on vacation and I had to step outside because the Miami Dolphins just signed corner Mike Hilton. This is not the first signing Miami made today. They have signed Jack Jones earlier in the morning. We filmed a video and broke that down as well. But this now marks the third corner that Miami has signed over the last 4 days. They signed Cornell Armstrong on Wednesday, and now they have signed Jack Jones and Mike Hilton today. We're going to break down Mike Hilton, but this is why you subscribe. I'm away from the computer, away from home. We're still going to film a video for you guys, so subscribe for the top coverage on the Miami Dolphins. But this Mike Hilton signing comes at a very intriguing time. We have talked all offseason long about how Miami has needed to add a corner or multiple after Jalen Ramsey got traded. Kendall Fuller was released. Like, Miami always needed to add corners to replace their starters from a year ago. Well, they didn't do it. Now we're in the training camp and they signed Jack Jones and Mike Hilton. Now, the one issue with all of this is that it could come after a scary injury. On Saturday morning at training camp, Kater Kohou got injured while defending Tyreek Hill in a one-on-one situation, and, well, he basically gingerly walked off the field. That is not a good sign for Kater Kohou, and that's the part of this that makes it so interesting with Mike Hilton, at least, is that Hilton has primarily played slot corner for the Cincinnati Bengals in his career, and when he was with the Pittsburgh Steelers as well. So you're signing a smaller 5'9", 5'10" corner in Mike Hilton, who is very good at what he does, had a 92 QB rating when targeted last year. He is someone who also gets after the quarterback well, excels at coming off the edge as a DB blitzer from the slot, but you're signing a nickel guy. I don't know if Mike Hilton and Kater Kohou could both play outside, so is this a signing by Chris Grier and Mike McDaniel as a sign that Kater Kohou's injury today at training camp is a lot more serious than we probably would hope so? Either way, I am going to be very excited and happy about Mike Hilton joining this Dolphins football team. Regardless of if Kater Kohou got hurt, I would have put Mike Hilton on the short list of corners I would have liked to sign. The list was Rasul Douglas, Asante Samuel Jr., Mike Hilton, and Stephon Gilmore. But they obviously went with Hilton. Apparently they have had interest in him all offseason long and kept in contact with him. We know the story on Rasul Douglas, on how Miami has pursued Douglas, offered him multiple contracts, and he has continuously turned them down because he's got so much interest from other teams to where they thinks he could get more money than what Miami is offering. But let me know, do you like the signing of Mike Hilton? Type Y for yes or type N for no. I think where we have to take this conversation next is, where does the Dolphins secondary go from here if Kater Kohou is injured? Well, if he is significantly injured, I think Mike Hilton is just going to be your Kater Kohou replacement. I mean, that's really just the moral of the story here. He has played nickel his entire career. He has been a starter for a very long time, and he held out looking for a starting gig potentially throughout free agency, and he's got it now if Kater Kohou is out for a large chunk of the season, which obviously is not the hope here. But Kohou potentially hurt. Hilton comes in on a one-year deal. I think Mike Hilton is a really good replacement for Kohou. There's no doubt about that. My only thing is this kind of stinks because you brought back Kohou on a restricted deal. Remember, he was someone you tendered and tried to bring back in NFL free agency. So if he's out for the year, unfortunately for Kater Kohou, he's going to become a free agent next offseason again after not playing all this year. But that remains to be seen, and when that information comes out on Kater Kohou, we will break it down. So make sure you follow me on Twitter and subscribe so you don't miss that. But Hilton is a very capable replacement, and if Kohou is out for a significant period of time here, Mike Hilton is your best corner there is. Like, if we're just going to be completely honest, that is where we stand. Now, based off what we've seen from training camp in Miami, it sounds like we've seen really, really good things from some of these young guys like Jason Marshall Jr. We've seen some other players make some plays as well. So I'm really intrigued by what we've seen early on. We've heard that the corners have done better than expected, and we're going to need them to do better than expected if Miami wants to continue to win football games here with this secondary being as young as it is. Minkah Fitzpatrick had a good day in training camp today, but you add two corners today alone in Jack Jones and Mike Hilton, who really have the capability of being big-time additions for the Miami Dolphins. And We talked a little bit about Jack Jones this morning. If you didn't watch that video, please go watch it in full depth. I'll break it down more here right now. That he is a gambler. He can make a lot of good plays in the secondary, but he gets beat on a lot of double moves because he is so aggressive trying to make plays. He was top 5 in the NFL last season in PBUs with 16. He also gave up 10 touchdowns though. So he's someone who is good with the ball in the air, will try to make a play. He has a lot of interceptions in his career, I believe 7 or 8. He had a pick 6 off Aaron Rodgers in his 3rd ever game. So this is a guy that can make plays, but I won't guarantee the fact that he's going to be someone you can trust on a game-in, weekly basis. But there has been so many injuries that have happened for Miami to this point where you get a little bit concerned. Kater Kohou banged up. Artie Burns tore his ACL on the 2nd day of training camp. So now you're really going to have to lean on these guys to pick up this Anthony Weaver scheme and system sooner rather than later, because all the corners you have is Cam Smith, Storm Duck, you have Jason Marshall Jr. and Ethan Bonner if Kohou is down now. But obviously Hilton comes in, Jack Jones comes in. Apparently Jack Jones made a couple nice plays for Miami as well in training camp, which was good. And I apologize for the background noise. This is just really loud out here. I'm trying my hardest for all of you, which is why this is why you subscribe right here. I mean, this is top-notch coverage here. Not the first time we filmed an outside video, by the way. We did this for Calais Campbell signing about 1.5 years ago in the offseason, but that's neither here nor there. Miami's secondary is thin. It's got a lot of injuries, and where the depth chart stands now is you have Storm Duck, you have Cam Smith, you got Mike Hilton, you got Jack Jones, you got Jason Marshall Jr., Kater Kohou is number 6. Can't really put up my hand because I'm holding the phone right now, but that's where your cornerback room stands. It's not good, but it's certainly better than it was 48 hours ago. I mean, if you told me on Thursday that Miami signed Mike Hilton and Jack Jones, I would have been really happy about that. I would have. Now, I don't like the circumstances it's come over with Kater Kohou going down in practice. I hope this is not a precursor and it's more of just stability, but Miami's got a lot of veteran corners now that make me feel a little bit more comfortable about this room. I mean, Mike Hilton is a big-time stabilizing force in this secondary, and I think we're going to see a lot of 3 safety looks this year for Miami. Minkah Fitzpatrick played pretty well in training camp today, had an interception. I think Melifonwu, Ashton Davis, all of these guys are going to be really impactful for Miami and see a lot of playing time and snaps. So we'll see how this cornerback room ultimately shakes out, but Mike Hilton signed on a 1-year deal. I wish I had more numbers in front of me, but that's a big-time pickup for Miami. And the one concern that I'm going to have is I'll just continue to echo that sentiment on today's show, is that Kater Kohou went down with an injury at practice. It was a lower leg, either ankle or knee, and you just got to hope it's nothing serious, because if it is serious, that's not ideal considering he was your best corner on the roster coming into the season. But Mike Hilton's going to have to be the next man up. He's someone I definitely trust to be that next man up for Miami in the secondary, especially that slot if Kohou's down for a long time. But the idea and hope is that Kohou is not going to miss the entire year, and Mike Hilton's just assurance and another veteran corner that we can play in this versatile scheme. That'll do it for today's show. Appreciate you guys hanging in with me in this tough angle, tough sunlight, tough audio, I bet. So appreciate y'all. Go Fins.